if you're looking for good recruiting news, might be on the way. So, number one offensive tackle by most services, Jackson Cantwell, he thinks he's nearing a decision. That's what he keeps saying. He has declared it multiple times on Twitter, and I tell you, Oregon can't be trending any better right now. That guarantees absolutely nothing, of course. So he's cut his choices down to 4 schools. You've got, it's kind of funny it's these 4 because Oregon fans have some sort of connection, positive or negative, with all of them. You've got Georgia, 2022, where Lanning came from. Ohio State, don't need to say anymore. Miami, Mario Cristobal. How about that? How about that list? And then Oregon, of course, in the fold. So the reason I say Oregon appears to be in a really good position here, which, again, guarantees nothing, but if you're just looking for something to be interested in on the recruiting trail right here, right now, or something to maybe get excited about because it looks good from afar, this is the guy to know if you're a Duck fan, because Oregon spring game is April 26th. That is next week, next Saturday. And he's going to not only visit that day, he's also reportedly going to commit on April 30th. So he's going to go to Oregon spring game for an official visit, and 4 days later, pick his school. He has been adamant on social media that he's close to making a decision, that he's near, and he's got all the information he needs and all that sort of stuff. We'll see if he's a guy that commits and shuts down his recruitment, whether that's to Oregon or not. But about 2 weeks from now, one of the top overall players in 2026 is going to come off the board, and it'll be 4 days after he goes to the spring game. So if you're listening to or watching this show and considering, should I go to the spring game? Should I go see what it's all about? Yes, go. Make it the best environment that you possibly can. It is a big recruiting day and something that Oregon has done a great job with in terms of getting quality turnout and giving kids, just a little taste of what game day at Autzen is like. There has not been a great run of attendance at spring games across the country. Stand out. Just stand out as much as you can. So go to Autzen on April 26th. I would be going if I did not have another work commitment to go to on that particular day, but you all should go. Get there. Can't wait for it. So that's the first piece of news. Second piece is, remember, Jared Curtis is committing on May 5th. That's the number one quarterback who I want more than maybe even Cantwell in the class of 2026. He's committing on May 5th. He was supposed to go down for what's called G Day down at Georgia, and that is their kind of spring game adjacent sort of deal. It's basically an open, organized practice more so than an actual spring game. I like the spring game much better. I hope we play them against other teams one day, but hey, that's something in the future. So reportedly, well, I can confirm Jared Curtis did not go down there for G-Day, even though he was scheduled to do so. The rumor that was on a Georgia website, not a message board, but a site, so I believe it was accurate, but have not been able to confirm that myself, is that it was because of his high school prom and it was coinciding. I don't know. So I just would take with a grain of salt that, he didn't go down for GA. That means he's committing to Oregon. Still could. It's going to be Oregon or it's going to be Georgia. We've known that for a very long time. May 5th is right around the corner. Those are a couple of huge, massive, franchise caliber guys. I know it's a university, but you get what I'm saying. Those are foundational pieces for Oregon looking to the future with Dan Lanning and company at the helm. So those are the two biggest names that right now are out there who are in a position to pick Oregon, could go elsewhere. We'll just have to wait and see. But I feel solid based on all the information I've compiled to this point, saying Oregon's going to get one of those guys. I'd be surprised and frankly a little disappointed if they went 0 for 2. The smoke is not quite as profound with Emmanuel Iheanacho, who is a 5-star offensive lineman. There are a lot of great offensive tackles in this class, and Oregon has already got one in Cody Green. Would love for them to get a second. Right now, Cantwell appears to be a lot more likely than Iheanacho, who might wind up at Maryland, our Big Ten brethren, because, well, that's college football nowadays. So those are the names that I have brought up before. Couple of names to know as well. Another one who I've mentioned previously, Brandon Arrington. So he also is going to make his way to Eugene for the spring game. This is a 5-star in the class of 2026. USC is among the schools heavily involved for him. Wide receiver, defensive back type. He could be a Travis Hunter type. I don't know that he has the same expectations that Hunter did, who was, I think, the number 1 overall player in his class back in 2022. But he is someone who has the ability to play both corner and receiver and do so at a high level. 5-star athlete, and USC's been after him hard for quite a long time. That's going to be a big battle. I don't know exactly how involved other schools are. I know that Oregon and USC are big in his recruitment. I think there are a couple other schools that will have a good chance to land him. But Brandon Arrington is a name to know. Joey O'Brien, Kerry Adams, also on Oregon's radar. Joey O'Brien is an athlete. Kerry Adams is a defensive back. Just a couple of names to keep out there. And then Hayden Stepp, not someone I've mentioned on the show before. Defensive back, long defensive back, who is from Bishop Gorman, about 2.5 hours from where I am. He is listed 6'3.5", only $175 according to 24/7. He's a 2027 recruit, but has already flown up to be. Recruiting's wild. That's just kind of the way that it goes. He's number 3 corner in the class of 27, but 6'3.5". For those of you who've said, well, Oregon needs more size, they need more height. Well, going after those sorts of guys, non-zero way to try and change that particular narrative, or just the reality on the ground with how big your secondary players are. But I wanted to close some secondary talk with this, bringing it back to recruits who are on Oregon's roster. I keep seeing Ife Obadegwu's name pop up all over the place as frequently as it can, as Oregon's been going through practices and scrimmages and all that sort of stuff. I'll get to my position group preview for the secondary between now and next week when the spring game rolls around. But man, I just don't think it's an accident. I don't think anything that we have seen, because, as Eric Scopel said recently here on the show, like the information the media get at Oregon for spring ball is not as expansive as what some other places have. And in terms of the amount of video they can shoot, information they get, and Lanning's not, always the most talkative guy. Like, I just keep seeing Ife Obadegwu all over the place. So maybe that means nothing, but last time that I tried to read between the tea leaves on, a player being put in promotional content or being out there on socials a good amount, it was Jackson Shellstad as a true freshman. Worked out pretty well. I just don't think media-wise anything is done accidentally. Videos are out there of Decorian Moore catching a pass from Dante Moore. Think that's an accident? I don't think so. I don't think that's a coincidence. So, names to keep an eye on, and we'll see what happens come the spring game on the 26th.